I'm going to hand over to Kojo Yankson now, but why is the voter turnout so low, as the Electoral Commission commissioner is saying? Kojo, tell us about turnout today.
Thank you, Gifty. Now, about 2 hours ago, just before I left, I promised that I was going to look into this extremely low voter turnout that is being reported by Madam Charlotte Osei at the EC. We wanted to figure out whether indeed that was even possible. Now, I'm going to explain to you how there is no way our voter turnout this year could be as low as 49%. There is no way. I'm going to explain this to you using the EC's own figures. Okay, so come with me. It's going to be very simple. I'll explain what you're looking at on TV for the benefit of those who are listening on radio. Now, I have on my screen here some figures about constituencies that have brought in their results so far. Now, bear in mind, we have been collating certified results from the constituency collation centers, certified by EC officials. Okay, so these are not our figures, these are the EC's figures. Madam Charlotte Osei confirmed that so far they have the results of 210 constituencies. We are a little bit ahead of the EC with this. We have certified results from 234 constituencies. And when I say certified, I mean these are confirmed by the EC officials at the collation centers. So we have 234 constituencies so far, as compared to 210 from the Electoral Commission. Now, Madam Charlotte Osei says the turnout is 49% for the 210 that she is reporting. Now, on this board here, you can see the total number of registered voters for every single region of the country in this column here. And at the bottom, you have the total. So, for the 10 regions of the country, the total number of registered voters, again, this is another Electoral Commission figure. The total number of registered voters is 1,582,491. Okay, that's the figure we have. Sorry, pardon me, I'll take that again. It's 15,712,499. Okay, 15,712,499. That's the total for the nation. Right next to it, based on the 234 constituencies that we have received results for so far, our voter turnout, based on the EC's own figures, is 13,576,592. That's 13,576,592. Now, if you come with me to the very end of our table here, you can see the percentage representation of that number. It's actually 68%. Okay? 68%. That is the total voter turnout percentage based on 234 constituencies. Now, the difference between 49 and 68 is almost 20%. And the difference between 234 and 210 is only 24 constituencies. So you can understand how 24 constituencies cannot change the voter turnout from 49% to 68%, which is a figure that we have calculated from the EC's own numbers. You can see above it the voter turnouts for all of the regions. Ashanti region, 71.6%. Brong-Ahafo, 71.1%. From the central region, we have 67.2%, and by the way, we have all of the constituencies' results from the central region so far. 67.7% from Eastern, Greater Accra recording 64.6%. Northern has 74.8%. The Upper East region has 70.5%. The Upper West clocking 70.9%, and the Volta region clocking 61.4% out of the 234 constituencies, and the Western region giving us 63.9%, a total there of 68%. Now you can see right next to it, the turnout for 2012 was 80.2% for these same 234 constituencies. Now, these are the figures from the EC. Right. And it shows quite clearly.
But not to cut you, but then to find out, we need to let our viewers and our listeners know the. We need to let them know why it is essential for them to get them, get this comparison and why we need to make this comparison so they understand. What is the essence of this, would you say?
Well, if we have a low voter turnout, the suggestion then would be that our figures and calculations here would be indicating some sort of overvoting. It would be indicating that more people voted than the EC has a record of.
Okay.
But as you can see, that is not possible because our figures are from the EC collation centers, certified by the EC's returning officers at every single constituency collation point.
Right.
So we didn't make these figures up. We got them from the EC. So 49%, as is being recorded by Madam Charlotte Osei, is physically not possible.
Right, Kojo, thank you very much. Is that all we've got from you, or should we look out for some more?
We will be bringing you updates on the results that we have collated since we called the election at about 2:02 a.m. this morning. We have received several more constituency results, and I'll be bringing that to you a little bit later.
Thank you very much. That is Kojo Yankson. Kojo Yankson helped us, to have a look at the EC's 49% and, what we have here at Joy from the grounds, from certified results from the ground, actually totaling 68%. I find that really interesting. And as Kojo explained, the essence of it all is that there is, the essence of the discrepancies that we're talking about here is that it may look as if there has been overvoting, and we've heard that from the NDC's camp that there has been overvoting in the Ashanti region. It's one of the things that they said at one of their press conferences. Eager to hear from you, Mrs. Kasati, what do you make of this,
The problem, as everybody notes, is that when there is lack of information, of course, suspicion thrives,
right,
and then speculation thrives. But yes, there are allegations of overvoting, but it's been, what I have heard, it's been very vague so far. There haven't been any details as to exactly what they are talking about. And we also need to understand when people say overvoting, what do they actually mean? Okay. Because we know that sometimes when people are saying overvoting, what they're actually referring to is stuffing of the ballot box, right, which is not an issue that is difficult to resolve because, like the EC's education has indicated, it must bear the EC stamp.
Right.
If a ballot paper does not bear the EC stamp, of course it is not up for counting.
Right.
So we do need to understand exactly what the allegations are, what are they referring to as overvoting, and even if these allegations come up, it shouldn't be too complicated to resolve them, because the issues would have been raised, expected that they would have been raised at the polling station. The necessary counting would have gone on, and then the EC officials would have made a determination in accordance with the rules, and then we can move on. So a lot of information coming out would assist the public and all of us to be able to make a sense of what is actually happening now.
Right. Dr. Alidu, what could account for the difference we're looking at? I don't know if you'll be able to, address that, but we're looking at, the EC has just said that 49%, the turnout was 49%, but in looking at our own figures and what we've put together from the grounds, it's amounting to 68%.
I think I'm not sure how I'm going to explain it because
But we can limit it to, if we can't address it, in that way, we can perhaps limit it to.
I would not be personally not be able to explain why we have to. But the point I can make is, look, we are looking at the implication of that allegation, because it has a serious implication on the credibility of these elections, and then that also affects the acceptability of the results that will be declared. Okay. So I think it's an allegation that we will have to address, whether is founded or not, so that we know that at the end of the day we have a result that is credible and everybody will accept it. And we don't want to have a repeat of what happened in 2012.
And just to add to what that is why it's actually important for them to speed up, as we say now.
Right.
Whether or not, the longer it takes to first of allegations of overvoting, without any information coming out as to exactly what it is, whether or not there is overvoting, I don't think it's a complicated matter.
Okay.
I think it's an issue that could be resolved.
It's quite straightforward.
It's quite straightforward.
Right.
So they should have the issue resolved, and then at least give the public, update the public in their regular press conferences, so that people don't become suspicious and then there will be distorted information and mischief as a result.
Nice one. But let's look at let's do a little bit of comparison from 2012 and 2016. In 2012, we got 80% turnout, based on the figures that are available to us. But if we should go by the EC's turnout percentage, it's at 49%. If we should go by our own percentage here, it's at 68%. What do you think is accounting for the differences in turnout between these, between the 2012 election and the 2016 election?
It's difficult at this moment. I can't find an explanation for the difference because the EC hasn't actually told us how it has come to the conclusion of the 49%. And as we saw the press conference, opportunity was not given for questions to be asked and answered. So there is not there's not sufficient information for anybody to be able to give a reason why there is a discrepancy.
I mean, either way, there's a difference.
There's a difference.
So even if we don't have further information from the EC, we could still look at the difference. And why? What will there be social factors? Will there be political factors? What are these things that could account for a low turnout?
I think general, I can explain. I can give a general explanation, but not specific.
I like the enthusiasm. Please give it to us.
To this issue, I think voter turnout, low voter turnout, could be explained by voter apathy. What happens is that maybe you belong to a specific party. You have been voting for that party all these years, but you have reasons to believe that that party is not satisfying your interests, or it's not able to project what you believe in, your ideals and then philosophy as an individual. And because you are so much entrenched into that particular political party, you wouldn't want to vote for.